officially time to start the new build. Why do I do this to myself? So for the people that keep up with the content, I'm currently building a Chevy S10, and that is going to be at the paint shop for 18 days. So in the meantime, I decided, let's build another car in 40 days. 40 days, oh gosh. And you're probably wondering, what car am I going to build in 40 days and why? And well, that car is my 1990 Mazda Miata. And yes, I am going to be building this in 40 days. Of course, we need a game plan. What is the game plan for this Miata? 1, paint. Oh my gosh. I am not going to be running in this crusty thing the whole event, so we definitely need to paint this car. 2, body kit. This thing has seen way better days. The fenders are all crumbled in. The bumper's all destroyed. We're going to replace it all. We're going to replace it all. 3, wheels, tires, suspension. We're going to change it all as well. And the best part, we are going to be boosting this 1.6 in 40 days. The mission is to build this entire car in 40 days. I'm stressing. Now you're probably wondering, what is the first step in this build? Well, dismantling it. We're gonna take this whole thing apart. Let's get started. Now you're probably wondering, why is the Miata up in the air? Well, long story short, these tires are completely dry rotted, so I'm going to get them removed tomorrow. And I want to powder coat these wheels. I decided we're keeping the wheels. These RPF ones weigh like 9 pounds. They feel amazing. I just don't love the color. So we're keeping the wheels. We're taking the tires off. So let's remove everything so we can take them to the tire shop. Now let's throw the wheels on the back of the truck so we can take them to the tire shop. And done. Next on the list, let's remove this front bumper. It has way too much damage. On top of that, it has an oddly shaped bump in the middle of it, and I don't really like it, so we're going to be removing the front bumper as well.
Yo, these things are so rusted? Man, I gotta look at these things. Oh man, I gotta so look at these things didn't break. They're super rusted. I'm probably gonna look for replacements for sure.
It is super dark outside, and I told myself I was not gonna stop until I took the whole front end apart, which I think I officially did. I actually haven't tried this yet, but if this comes off, I can go to sleep. Yes, sir. Look, oh, good. That's nasty. Yes, sir. This thing looks so freaking sad. Bumpers off, fenders are off, this thing's in the air. And soon enough, this thing is going to look amazing. So, super stoked. This is the end of day 1. Best part is my camera's about to die, so we definitely put in the work. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Day number 2, and it's time to drop these wheels off. I'm not even gonna lie, I just woke up. But we're gonna start the day by dropping off the wheels from the Miata to have the tires removed so we can take the wheels to a powder coater sometime next week. I would have done it this week, but it's 4th of July tomorrow, so I'm sure nobody's gonna be working. Regardless, we're gonna go drop off the tires, the wheels, to get the tires removed, so when we're ready for the powder coater, we can do that. So let's drive to the tire shop and let's see if they'll do it today. And we're here at the tire shop. Let's see if they'll do them. Most people don't want to work a day before 4th of July, so we're gonna see. As I figured, they did not want to do it. They said to come back Monday, so we'll be back Monday. As for the first Miata part, here it is. It's actually very cool that they actually make fenders for Miatas. Believe it or not, a couple years back, there was no aftermarket fenders for Miatas. If you crushed one or you dented it in, you had to get an OEM replacement, and it's very hard for these older cars. But thanks to eBay Motors, you can actually pick these brand new fenders for your Mazda Miata. Mine were completely dented in. My only concern now is whether this is going to fit nice or not, because aftermarket bumpers tend to fit like, excuse my language, crap. So we're gonna throw this on and hopefully it fits good. But dude, that is crazy that you can get aftermarket fenders now. Like, that's sick. I'll be honest, first impression, these things look amazing. Everything's there. even the little grooves in the fender like the OEM one, even this line, that line. Dude, for a replacement aftermarket fender, this honestly looks OEM. That is so insane how good aftermarket parts have gotten with time. Every single bolt aligns properly. And then if we scoot back, you will notice it looks like a brand new fender. Like, it is a brand new fender, but it fits like an OEM fender. Holy snap. I even threw this side on. Yo, that is so crazy. We now have brand new fenders for the Miata. And next, we are going to be installing something that's going to make this Miata just a little bit newer, feel a little bit newer, and a little bit nicer. And essentially, this little port right here is a cigarette lighter USB-C, USB conversion. So it's going to turn your cigarette lighter port into a modern car-like charging port. So it has a USB on top, USB-C on the bottom, and it should be plug and play. As you can see, it has a plus there for power and the negative on this side. So 2 little connections. This thing is gonna look super, super cool. And essentially it is going to replace this ugly one on the Miata right here. And from what I've seen online, these things, all you have to do is remove the shield on the bottom and just push through the back, and this thing should pop off. So I think that's what we're gonna do next. We're waiting on the front bumper, so as we're waiting, we're just gonna upgrade the rest of the car. So let's remove that just to make this ride a little bit more enjoyable. Look at that. Pushed it from the back, popped off like nothing. Unfortunately, it does look like this cigarette lighter port adapter is a little bit too big. So we're gonna have to Dremel this out little by little. So I'm gonna go get my drill. We're gonna Dremel it out, make it a little bit bigger, and then hopefully this thing will just nicely kind of slide in there. Check this out a couple minutes later of me just Dremeling away. Look at that, dude. And then, whoop. That is sick. As far as the wiring, this thing has a blue wire and a black wire. Black is always ground. Blue is the power. So you put butt connectors on it and just connect it to the new adapter and we're done. So we're gonna throw this on and see if it works. This thing is lighting up, so I didn't even know it had an LED in the back. That is cool. So let's plug this in and just plugged in. Is it charging? Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, what a simple install that makes this thing so much better, dude. Now you're probably wondering, what are we gonna install on this car today? It's actually not raining, surprisingly, so I kind of don't want to stop. I did just throw on the new fenders. We did the cigarette lighter port, and now we're gonna throw some coilovers on the Miata. Big thanks and shout out to eBay Motors. They actually sent these out to me. These are used. They said, hey, what do you want? I got some used ones. There's nothing wrong with used. They're 800 bucks used compared to new ones that are like 1200, 1400. They were sponsored, so I should have probably got the new ones, but regardless, I'm okay with used. We got these used BC coilovers. They look like they have 0 miles. You see a couple dings and scratches, but nothing crazy. And I think this is really going to transform the car because right now it has super old blown suspension and it's going to ride amazing. So this is what we're installing next. As for the Miata, it currently drives pretty good, but this 10-year-old Koenig suspension probably needs a upgrade. It's completely rusting and it's falling apart, so we're gonna throw some new BC coilovers and hopefully that is going to help this thing handle on the Dragon amazing. First off, I have done coilovers on a Miata, but it's been forever. This is not a tutorial video because I'm not trying to teach you how to do this. I'm just doing it myself and kind of winging it. So we're gonna remove the coilovers. I'm just gonna kind of wing it and see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too bad. We're gonna do the rears and then the fronts, and then this thing's gonna have brand new used coilovers. So let's get started. If I did everything correctly, yes sir, dude, That is, oh man, a roach just came out of that. You tell me which one's gonna ride better. This one's a lot shorter, by the way, so it's definitely gonna drop the car a bit. But yeah, before and after is insane. Now let's house the new one on. Holy snap, oh. There we go, I was timing that. At this point, right now, we have coilovers, we have new fenders, and we have a new cigarette lighter port. And we're gonna keep throwing things onto this Miata because this thing is gonna be crazy sick. As for the next part, well, it's something that's gonna cool the Miata off and is gonna make it run a little bit nicer. That's his big, humongous 2-row radiator from eBay. This thing is actually heavy. This is going to replace the OEM one in the Miata, which is super old. This OEM one has been in there like almost 30 years. So we're going to replace it with this new one, and it should cool the Miata a lot better. My main concern with this whole build is to make it run like a train on tracks as well as reliable. This radiator has been in this vehicle since it was made, and it definitely doesn't cool as much as a brand new one. So now let's start removing it. Step 1, let's drain the radiator. And a few minutes later, the old radiator's finally out and the new one is going in. I'll be honest, I didn't record much because this sway bar just makes everything super hard to do. And I just realized this thing has no AC compressor. No wonder it doesn't have AC. They capped it off right there. So we're missing a line for the AC. Oh man, that sucks. So we have alternator, crank pulley, and power steering, but they got rid of the AC compressor and I've never noticed that. So there you go. We have no AC in this car. Radiator is now on. I'm just bleeding the system as well as waiting for these fans to kick on. They haven't kicked on yet, so as soon as these fans kick on, we're pretty much done. I don't see any more bubbles coming out of this thing, but it's also not getting hot, so it's doing its job. It's not really, it's right in the middle, it's not getting hot. So as soon as those fans kick on, we're done bleeding it. So we're just waiting for it, but I've been out here for like 30 something minutes. This thing's, dude, this radiator setup is doing a good job. There he goes. Fans kicked on. Heck yes. Yeah, buddy. And now that we have a brand new radiator on the Miata, we're gonna keep working on the coolant system. I should have probably installed this first, but I didn't have it at the time. It's the next day after installing the radiator, my thermostat came in. So this thermostat is supposed to open 30 degrees sooner than the OEM one. It's by Mishimoto. And if I'm correct, it should say here, yeah, 68 Celsius is when this thing opens up. So it's gonna open a lot. It's gonna open up a lot sooner and keep this thing a lot colder. And since we're going turboed, I think this is probably the easiest thing I can do to possibly cool this thing off. Plus, it's super easy to replace it on this car. Just 2 bolts here holding the thermostat housing. We have the new gasket here, and she's good to go. Thermostat is now installed, so I'm running the engine just to see if this thing overheats. So far, it's not overheating and it's not leaking, so I call this a win. We're just gonna let it run and see what happens. So far, so good. Let's hope it stays this way. Now that the coolant system on this vehicle is top notch and this thing is not going to overheat whatsoever, it's time to install something I've wanted to install for a very long time. And that is Willwood brakes. Miata brakes are known for being horrible. They don't stop very good. So I wanted to upgrade with some Willwoods. I did pick these up from eBay as well. These are 4 pistons and they're super easy to throw on. I'm gonna show you how to throw them on, how to install them. These things are going to be so sick and I'm super excited for these. So let's take the old stuff out so we can replace it with some new Willwood brakes. So it's raining. I haven't been recording much because I don't want to get the camera wet, but we did take everything off. We now have the Willwood Miata caliper adapter here. Now it's time to toss this 2-piece rotor on. This thing is insane. Gosh. Yo. Oh my gosh. It is starting to rain a little bit harder, but now it's time to toss this beautiful 4-piston caliper onto the Miata. This thing is going to be a stop demon. Caliper is now installed, and I'm going to show you why I love these calipers. So we have the brake pads here, right? So brake pad, pin, done. Imagine doing your brakes that fast, but man, these things look absolutely beautiful. I think my only real complaint right now is the fact that these calipers are over $1,200. They do not come with brake lines, and they actually don't even come with fittings for the caliper, so that kind of sucks. I'm gonna see if I can order them tonight, but so far this thing is coming out so freaking sick. Now that we're out here, the next thing we're gonna do is actually toss some lines on these calipers. These things are rusting, but keep in mind, I am in Florida. As soon as I use these things, the rust is simply gonna come off. But first thing we need to do is actually throw some lines on it. You actually had to order these separately. Willwood doesn't send you the lines, which is crazy. These brakes were about 1K, and they don't send you lines, but here's the part number in case you need. Now we need to install the line. It doesn't matter which way, they're both the same, so that's the awesome part about this kit. Now all we have to do is remove the original line so we can replace it with the new one. Make sure you get a brake line wrench because you definitely don't want to strip this. So let's see if we can do this on the first try without stripping anything. Right there. There we go. Yes, sir. Now for the retaining clip, there we go. Done. The front brakes are now 100%. Dude, this thing is gonna stop amazing. So we do have to bleed the system, but before we do that, we gotta upgrade the rears. Now that we're done with the front, I do wanna upgrade the rears. Currently we have the stock rear brakes. So what I ended up doing is I bought this kit from Good Racing right here. This right here is a brake caliper adapter. Essentially what this is going to do is push the caliper forward, which in turn is going to allow me, let me move this out of the way, to run a bigger rotor. These rotors right here are from a 2006 Miata, which runs the sport brakes. And what most people do is they turn and change everything to the sport brake, which is crazy expensive because you need the rotors, the calipers, and the pads. Using this Goodwin adapter, it keeps the pads and the calipers the same, but it does give you a bigger rotor. A lot of people say it doesn't work. A lot of people say that that's a waste of money, but Goodwin Racing sells it. Flying Miata sells it. 949 Racing sells it, I believe. So if it wasn't a functional part, I doubt any of those big companies would actually sell it. This is not supposed to make the stopping faster or more powerful. It's supposed to kind of let the heat transfer work a little bit better, because if you don't know, Miata brakes tend to overheat very easily and smoke, and I've had that happen on my ND. So these bigger rotors are supposed to help with heat transfer and just make your brakes not overheat as easily. So now that we're done with that, let's toss this on, let's throw a bigger rotor, new pads, and make this thing 100%. There we go. Couple hammer shots later. This thing is loose. Oof, that thing was rusted in. There we go. I kind of ended up hitting this one, but once we tighten it, it should be fine. So I'm gonna re-tighten it, should be pretty good. There you go, look at that. We are ready for the upgrade. Now for the tedious part. Because this rotor is so much bigger, oh gosh, so it is so much bigger, you actually need to cut the dust shield or cut a lot of it off, because it actually hits the back of the rotor. So what I did on the other side is I cut a lot of it, and I also bent a lot of it. I'm just gonna cut some of it and then bend whatever's still touching, but it hits the back of the heat shield. And specifically, it hits most of this area here. It hits this side, and a little bit of the side which you can push back with a hammer. I'm gonna cut this, and we should be pretty good to go. So let's start cutting. boys, I think this is where the build is gonna get even cooler because we just got some really cool body parts for the Miata. Specifically, we got the hood, we got the side skirts, and we have the bumper on the way. Or I might have to pick that one up because the one I got is completely broken. Regardless, we're gonna start with the hood, and let me show you what I got because this thing is going to look amazing. We went with, I think it's called the Viper style hood. This thing is gonna be ridiculous. I did end up going with fiberglass because I do plan on painting this car. I didn't want to go with carbon because if I go carbon, I am not gonna paint it because I like carbon. So we did go with this vintage style hood. I'm in love. Let's throw it on. Not gonna lie, this thing is coming out pretty freaking sick. I threw the hood on, I kinda threw the side skirts on, they're not bolted on whatsoever, but I placed them on and I put the hardtop spoiler. So here, let me show you what this thing looks like. Bam! Oh my gosh. This looks so sick. So as you can see, the RX-7/Viper hood here, it fit pretty good except for this side. I think this side is actually kind of warped. So what I ended up doing is I put a tape and I put a caliper on it. And hopefully the weight from the caliper and the tape will put it back in shape. I'm hoping it's just warped and the heat will put it in place. But except for that side, the rest of the hood is perfect. It's perfect. The side skirts, they fit amazing for something that I didn't have to bolt on whatsoever. And the hardtop spoiler looks really good. So as of now, the only thing that we're waiting for is for my carbon fiber duckbill or my carbon fiber trunk from Carbon Miata, and then this thing can go to paint. My goal is to get this thing ready for paint on Monday. So if I can accomplish that, I will call it a success. My Civic wheels also fit barely, but they do fit. So we have wheels. We're gonna rock these wheels. Not what I would have picked, but it is what it is with my time frame and with my budget. So we're gonna rock my Civic wheels. We're gonna drop this thing off to paint on Monday, and it should look super sick. So we're just gonna move on from here. I just wanted to give you a little update. This is gonna come out super sick. Well guys, we're back in Florida, and I've been driving a long while, probably approaching 24 hours of driving. I am exhausted. I want to be home, but my buddy Alejandro just painted my Miata. He said that thing is done, so you guys are gonna see the first reveal of the Miata on this video. We freaking transformed this car, and it's gonna make me feel a little bit better because we just got rid of my boy Timmy. We gave it to the winner. The Miata is going to make me feel a little bit better. So now we have an hour drive to his place, and then I have like 4 hours drive to my place. We have a long trip of driving, but at least we have a Miata now. So we're gonna drive, pick up the Miata, and I'm gonna reveal how this car looks. It looks insane, so I can't wait to show you. We just made it. It's about to be nighttime, but we freaking made it. Let's go look at the Miata. Haven't seen it yet, so I'm very excited. I saw it online, but I haven't seen it in person, so let's go see what this thing looks like. It's the next day. I'm back home. Now, before we finish the Miata, because we're gonna finish it on this video, we have a couple more parts to throw on this thing before we freaking finish the thing. Let me show you what it looks like from paint because it looks beautiful. Now the goal here is to finish the Miata, and you're probably wondering what exactly could make this Miata a little bit better. Carbon fiber, baby. So we do have more carbon fiber we're gonna throw on this Miata because currently the rear finish panel on the Miata looks like this. Yeah, that's not really doing nothing. So in order to make the Miata a little bit nicer, we're gonna throw a carbon fiber rear finish panel. So step one, we gotta remove the taillights. Now this should simply pop off like so. Moment of truth. What do you guys think?